Alright everyone, welcome back. Today, as you probably saw in the description, we are checking out a heart door that I made. And I made this in honor of Mother's Day, but I wasn't able to record on Mother's Day, so I'm actually recording this the day after, and it'll probably go up in Tuesday or Wednesday. But anyway, so as you can see, this heart sort of built into the cliff, and when I pull this lever, it opens up, and your mother, or whoever, this could be used for Valentine's Day, Father's Day, birthday, can go on inside and check out this chest of goodies you got them. You got dead bush, wooden hoe, one of these kind of mushrooms, a light gray banner, some rotten flesh, and assume they'll just take all that because those are all some of the best items in the game you always want, and then they can just go back outside and close the door. Check it out in action. And yeah, so I'm going to show you how to build this. Alright, so the heart is finally done. And so the first thing that I like to do whenever I'm building a redstone contraption is to place in the pistons that I need, and then I'll decide how to hook it up. So the first piston that you need is right down here, and I'll continue placing in the rest of the pistons, and then when I'm done with that, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I've placed in most of the pistons that you need. They're on different layers. I didn't place any of the pistons for this back layer because that circuit is a little bit different, and so we're going to be doing that last. But I have these pistons down here. These all connect to the red. And these two pistons here, this piston on top, and these all connect to the pink, and these ones on top connect to the red. They are all sticky. Sometimes there's sort of a glitch that I found. Sometimes you'll need a non-sticky piston here if you want all of these to push down at the same time, because these won't get updated at the same time. Now, I had that issue with this one, but when I moved the design into the world with the cliff and stuff that you saw at the beginning, I did not have that issue and I didn't need the piston. So I think that's just sort of a glitch. It might be, I just don't know about that. Just test out, and if these are pushing down at different times, put a piston in between, that'll solve it. So now I'm going to put in some of the redstone, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, so I messed up, and I completely forgot about these three pistons back here. So these pistons, these two will, facing up, connect to the pink, and this one will connect to the red. They should form this sort of triangle shape. And now I'm going to do the redstone, and I hope that I didn't forget any other pistons. Okay, so we're back, and I've wired up these three pistons in the front and these two back there. So you can see that when I flick the lever, it pulls down these two, and pushes up this one. And when I flick it again, they go back into the place. So the way you do this is, I have my input on this block, place the block, then you have the redstone here to power this piston, and then you have the torch connects to the redstone, connects to the repeater, and that will power this piston, and you run it through into this redstone, which powers this piston as well as this piston. But in a second it won't be powering this piston because we're going to change its direction. The same thing on the other side, redstone torch, dust, repeater, dust. These blocks here are important. If they're not there, it won't push up. Nothing should be connected to this piston yet. We'll hook that up in a little bit, but for now, you're looking pretty good. Alright, we're back. I have hooked up these two pistons on the side here, and these pistons on the side here, and this piston on the top. So when you see that I flick this, you get this sort of football cross shape in the middle, and then flick it again, and it all closes up pretty fast. So the way that I did this is you take this input running through here, put some blocks up, run the redstone along it, and build it up. This using half slabs. So, and then this half slab, the redstone will run into this piston here. And you can just take a screenshot of that. Now on the other side, it's a little bit different. So you run it up same way as well, but you turn it off a little bit later. So this island actually extends off to the side, whereas this one does not. And you run it up and you go through and around and you come up into this half slab and over. So you'll see why I do this in just a minute when we hook up these pistons on the top and these pistons over here. Alright, so I've added these pistons on the top, and the way I did this was you leave this exactly the way it was, put a block here with a torch on top, and then a block on top of that, and run the redstone up and all the way across. Now I did need this piston, which makes sense, I guess. I think that it does make sense, but it's also a little bit odd. I just really don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, put a piston here. And you can see that should be working pretty well. So now all we have to do is wire up these pistons in the back as well as that one back there. Okay, so I've wired up this piston in the back, and I decided that it'll be easier to actually show you me building this thing in the back than to just build it and then show you guys. But first I want to show you this piston. So pretty much you just take the redstone that's already there, place these 3 blocks in a block up like that, redstone here, repeater, redstone, and what this does is it pretty much takes the signal and doesn't interrupt this signal. If you were to, say, take it like this, you can see this piston doesn't activate anymore, so you have to place it like that, and it'll go up. And now I'm going to show you guys how to do this part in the back. Okay, so the first thing that you gotta do is take some slime blocks. Yes, this involves slime blocks. And then place them along these blocks in the back like this, but not on this one because, as earlier, this piston is pulling that block out of the way. Now you're gonna go up several blocks like this, and you're gonna place a piston up here and one facing down. We're making a downward double piston extender. Okay, so for this next part, you're gonna take a block up like this, redstone torch, then you're going to place what I like to use a furnace. Some people like obsidian. It doesn't matter as long as it's an immovable object, and these are any objects with like bedrock or obsidian, but also any items with an inventory, such as a furnace. A crafting table does not count, and I believe an enchanting table does not either, but it doesn't matter because you can't put a repeater on top. Anyway, they won't be moved by these slime blocks, and that is why you use them. So for this next part of the circuit, we're going to take this and we're going to put a block up like this, take some redstone and place it like that, and that will get you this extension. Now for the final part, you want a dropper on the end, hopper running back into it, then you take blocks over like this, place a comparator here, redstone here, and redstone there. Now you can use a repeater as well, but this makes it, 1 tick slower, so I prefer to use redstone. However, if you are going to use redstone on this block, then you need to place a non-stackable item in here so that you get a more powerful pulse. If you have an item that stacks, such as redstone or eggs or hoppers or whatever, then you will need a repeater. But I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to get a nice wooden sword, one of the best items in the game. Throw it in there. Alright, so that is all the redstone. Flip the lever, and you can see that comes right on up. I want to do a little bit of decoration in here. Take some more pink blocks, throw them in here. Take some red blocks, add those along this way. As you can see, I'm not, the best decorator, but it should do. Now, with this one, you can just destroy the torch. You might want to destroy the redstone first so it doesn't do anything else. Oh, well, it still did. And then replace this, put the torch back, replace that. And then you can continue this as far as you want. Now, the next part is that you want your furnaces here as well, because otherwise they will be moved by the slime block. So just I'll finish in filling these blocks, and then I'll explain a little bit more about how that double piston extender over there works. Okay, so now I'm going to explain about this double piston extender. I feel like everything else is fairly self-explanatory, so I'm going to explain about this because it's more complicated. So pretty much the way a double piston extender works is you need this piston where it's going to be, which is this block down here, to be powered before you power this piston up here. That way, this piston will get powered and push this piston down, and then this piston will immediately extend. Now, after that extends, when you turn it off, you need it to come back up before this one, and that is the main reason why you have this one set for 1 tick, whereas this one's set for 2, maybe 4 ticks if you calculate the torches in. So I'll take out this section so that you can see more clearly what happens when I flick the lever, and I'll show you that when I turn it on, it extends perfectly. However, when I turn it off, it stays in the way. And that's because this piston gets pulled out of the way, but it's not a slime block. So this piston doesn't pull these slime blocks and these blocks with it. That's why you have this section up here. This section, after more delay than the other one, it will power this dropper and to this hopper and immediately get sent back in. And then you get a short pulse out, which will extend the piston and retract it, pulling the slime block and all the blocks it's attached to back up. Now, if you didn't understand that, that's okay. It's a little bit complicated. At some point, I might do a video on double piston extenders. There's a lot to talk about with them. But for now, hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more like this one, leave a like. If you have a particular question, you can comment. And if you really enjoyed, go ahead and subscribe. And that's all for today. Happy late Mother's Day.